So what is my typical day? How does my typical day look like? I don't have a typical day. And here is why. Because the idea of typical day is male made. Typical day, the idea that every single day need to look the same, is based on the circadian rhythm and actually based on male hormone and how they relate to circadian rhythm. Meaning men have a cycle of hormones that change throughout the day but looks the same every day. So our whole society, they wake up super early, work out in the morning, power meeting in the morning, that wake up at 5 if you want to meet your goals. All of those things are based on actually how cortisol and testosterone relate to each other in a male body. They are not taking into consideration the woman's body. It's impossible for us to have a typical day because our daily needs are so different from one day to another as our hormonal cycle is changing. Our cycle is not a day cycle, it's a month cycle. We may have something, a typical month, but we can never do a typical day because our cycle is dynamic. Our days are changing and our needs are changes. The type of workouts that you can do after your period or before your ovulation, those 2 weeks, that type of workout that actually help you lose weight can make you gain weight if you do the same thing at a different time of the cycle. Same thing with your sleep. The type of sleep that could be restorative may actually leave you depleted. The way you orgasm, what you need for foreplay is so different around your period than if it is around your ovulation or in between. So every phase of your cycle has a very specific needs. They're very specific movement, very specific spiritual, energetic, nutritional needs. You need over 200 calories a day right before your period, then right after it. So this is over 200 calories difference from one phase of the cycle to another. So everything in our society, the idea even of a typical workout, of a typical day, of a very rigid way of doing things is very male made and is not taken into consideration the way the woman's body works, the way her energy works, the way her hormone works. Even you've heard me say this so many times, how the period to me is the report card. And when you look at your period, when you look at the color of your period, when you look at the flow, when you look at where the pain is, the PMS, I told you this many times, I love PMS because they tell me so much about there is an energetic block, what could be holding you back, where are you being stuck. And one of the beautiful things from a science perspective, right before your period, your two parts of your brain are communicating the most. So right before your period, the week leading to your period, you have the most communication between the two sides of your brain, meaning that in that time, your emotional response to the data that you are collecting is heightened. So the way you usually collect data, and you can have like some kind of you can shrug it off, or be like, oh no, I'm gonna do the right thing, when you can still dismiss your emotion. In that week, you can't. So if you're feeling rage, if you're feeling anger, if you're feeling emotional sadness, grief, this is actually the real emotion that you've been feeling all month about certain data in your life that you haven't given permission to yourself to feel until that last week, because the communication, the veil, the communication between the two sides is so thin that now you can't repress that emotion. So I can definitely do a day of showing you my type of the routines and the rituals that are part of my daily practices, and they will change from day to day. There is absolutely things that I do every day because they make me feel better, and I do them differently. I may spend more time, less time, not do them at all. There are things that are part of my spiritual and ritual hygiene that I do on a daily basis, but I do not have a typical day because I'm a female and I'm not a male. So I have to follow my cycle, my monthly cycle, and honor those needs, the different needs, the different demands, the different desires the different ask that my body has, and not actually try to contain it to a format that doesn't fit my body, that doesn't fit how I am biologically made.